Alrighty guys, welcome back to another new comic book day, dude. It was 0 degrees when I woke up this morning, dude. 0. I thought my clock was broken, dude, when it said 0 degrees. But yeah, new comic book day, January 22nd. We're gonna get those new comic books. I actually already got them. A little bit of movie magic. The sound got corrupted, so I have to refilm this part. But we're getting the new comic books, and then we're talking about last week's comic books reviewed. So if you're looking forward to that, definitely stay tuned. And then when we get home, dude, we're talking about action figure haul review for the month of January. We got 3 action figures. One of them is a Mayfex, dude, so stay tuned. We're also talking about my yearly reading goals for 2025. Also talking about last year's goals and how I didn't really kind of meet them for the goals in 2024. And then also we're closing out this video by talking about some collected editions that are coming out in the month of January. And then, kind of my thoughts on them, and they're on my wish list, right? So things that I'm looking to buy at some point for sure. So yeah, use the chapters down below to skip around. But yeah, new comic book day, last week's comic books, action figure haul review, yearly reading goals, and then collected editions that are coming out in January. Yeah, thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned. All right, let's talk about some of the comic books that came out for January 22nd, my most anticipated read, dude. Kind of an almost like triple tie, dude. So we have Absolute Wonder Woman, peak of all peak, right? Absolute Wonder Woman issue number 4, been loving this series. We also have Justice League Unlimited issue number 3. Mark Waid, Dan Mora just killing it with this one. And then Marco Cacchetto and Jonathan Hickman coming back with Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 13, man. So Absolute Wonder Woman, Justice League Unlimited, Ultimate Spider-Man. I mean, that's just like the most peak week of all peak. We also have a lot of stuff from DC. Huge week for DC. We have Wonder Woman issue number 17. Been liking this series. I think I forgot to read the last one though, so I got to catch up. Detective Comics number 1093. Tom Taylor and Janine just killing this series. Having a lot of fun with it. I like where the story is going, and I don't know, Tom Taylor writing a Batman series. It's been pretty cool. We have Black Canary Best of the Best issue number 3. Tom King written series. Not Tom Taylor. It's getting kind of hard to keep them straight in my head. But we got Tom King here with Sook on the art. Really enjoying this one. I know a lot of people aren't fans of Tom King, like super fans of Tom King, but I've been liking this series a lot. It's one of the better ones from Tom King in my opinion. Really kind of gruesome though, really pretty bloody. Superman issue number 22. We have Josh Williamson here with Dan Mora coming back as the artist. Been really enjoying him on this arc especially. Superman title, just knocking it out of the park. Last pickup for DC today, we have Green Arrow issue number 20. I've been liking this series a lot, man, ever since Chris Condon jumped on and Montos on the art, man, just knocking it out of the park. So loving the kind of mystery they got going on, and I think that Chris Condon just has a really great characterization for Oliver Queen Green Arrow. So yeah, been liking that one a lot. 2 indie comics for today. We have Noel Hunter issue number 4, Michael Walsh written series there from Image Comics. We have Minor Arcana issue number 5. You guys know me, Jeff Lemire from Boom Studios. Been liking this one. I think this came out last week, but my shop just got it in. Wanted to give a quick shout out to Distillery. They're always hooking your boy up. They hooked me up with Time Waits issue number 3. Chip Zdarsky written series here with David Brothers, and I think Marcus Toe is a co-writer too. He might be on the art, I forget. But this series has been a lot of fun, man. Time travel, timey-wimey type stuff. So liking Time Waits a lot. We also have a Life issue number 4. So Stephanie Phillips, Brian Azzarello, got some flip book action. Really interesting premise, and I think it's executed really well. So Life issue number 4, definitely check it out from Distillery. And then, dude, I want to give a shout out to Patrick Gleason, dude. So Patrick Gleason, he saw the filing cabinet video, and he sent me a package, dude. So we got stuff straight from Patrick Gleason. We also, so he gave us a little postcard thing advertising his shop. Definitely check it out. We have a little art print, Spider-Man art print there. Spider-Man, Spidey Loves MJ, he's calling that one. We have something for the filing cabinet. Shout out, dude. Happy New Year, Patrick Gleason, with a nice holographic sticker there. We also have a little sticker sheet. So, dude, these are definitely going on the filing cabinet, man. Shout out Patrick Gleason. Oh, okay, this is cool. So this is the actual variant of that. We have Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 12. Really love that one, dude. We have 2 more comics, it looks like, dude. Patrick Gleason with the hookup. Looks like some TMNT variants, man. So we got a red variant and a green variant, both signed, dude, with certificate of authenticity, brother. Patrick Gleason with the hookup, man. Friend of the channel, Patrick Gleason, I get to say now. So yeah, shout out Patrick Gleason. Those are definitely going to be going on the filing cabinet. Got the new comic books, you guys just saw them. Let's talk about last week's comic books as well. Starting with Ultimate Wolverine issue number 1. Knocked it out of the park, dude. We got Chris Condon, who I was just talking about. Huge fan of Chris Condon's work. With Capuccio, who was the artist for the Jed McKay Moon Knight stuff. Just excellent issue number 1. Really loving all the Ultimate stuff. This replaced Ultimate Black Panther for me, man. So been loving that. Can't wait for issue number 2. New Gods issue number 2. Ron V with Evan Cagle, man. Great issue. Loving the series. It's quickly climbing the ranks of, some of my favorite stuff at DC. I think that the New Gods series, definitely don't miss it out. My first ever New Gods series, and I've been loving it. Kind of like where the story's going, dude. Batman and Robin, year 1, issue number 4. Mark Waid, Chris Samney. Can't go wrong there, man. Loving the mysteries, it's pretty basic by the books Batman story, but that art from Chris Samney, dude, is just taking it over the top for me. Nice House by the Sea, issue number 5. James Tynion IV with Alvaro Martinez Bueno and Jordi Belair as well. The mystery, it's starting to ratchet up. It's starting to get a little intense. Without spoiling anything, we kind of have a competition brewing, if you guys know what I'm talking about, if you're reading the series. But great stuff, man. Definitely check out Nice House by the Sea and then Nice House on the Lake. Definitely check those out. Some of my favorite stuff from DC. Now it's a Vertigo title. Pretty cool. G.I. Joe issue number 3. Knocking it out of the park, man. Joshua Williamson with Tom Riley and I believe Jordi Belair as well. The G.I. Joes are fighting back, man, after kind of licking their wounds after the latest, kind of blunder, the battle that they kind of messed up. They go back on the offensive. Really cool stuff there. Been enjoying it a lot. I like the kind of espionage angle that one of the characters is getting himself into. So yeah, G.I. Joe from Skybound Image. Been loving that one. Nightwing issue number 122. Dan Waters writing this one with Dexter Soy on the art. I'm loving this series, man. What can I say? I think that for me, even though I really enjoyed the last Nightwing run, this one is already maybe overtaking it. I just like the darker. I know that Nightwing is like a hopeful character, but him being hopeful in kind of the dark environment, that's what I really like. So I've been loving this Nightwing series. I love the commentary about police brutality too and police violence. Really cool stuff from Dan Waters. The Moon is Following Us, issue number 5. So this is from Daniel Warren Johnson with Riley Rosmo on the art. Man, this series just keeps taking just the craziest twists and turns. Really loving the artwork from Riley Rosmo. It's really working for me here in this series. The Question All Along the Watchtower, issue number 3. So this one was cool because, that last page turn, right? So I'm interested to see where this series goes. It's kind of the Watchtower is under attack and Renee Montoya's got to kind of figure it out. So it's kind of like, a super interesting thing that's going on over at DC. I've been liking it a lot. Definitely, over exceeding my expectations that I had for this series that were, because I love Renee Montoya. But yeah, that's what came out last week. Thank you guys for watching this portion of the video. Look forward to an action figure haul, yearly reading goals, and then collected editions that are coming out in January that are on my wish list. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this portion of the video. All right, I wanted to show you guys the hot dog too before I forget. So that's what we're rocking with today. I'm hungry just looking at it, dude. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this portion of the video. Today's video, we're doing an action figure haul. The first one in January, had to go big with 3 different action figures for the month of January. 2 McFarlane DC Multiverse, and then 1 from Mafex actually. So the Mafex we got is the Amazing Spider-Man, the classic costume. Look at all the different accessories it comes with, guys. Head swap, bunch of different hands. Always love the packaging that Mafex puts into their products. They put a lot of care into the packaging. Really cool stuff. On the last side there, see at the bottom, nothing. Top, oh, that's pretty cool on the top. But yeah, Mafex Spider-Man. Hold tight, guys. We'll get this guy open. As soon as I show you guys the other figures we've got, the McFarlane Mr. Terrific. I was anticipating this one ever since they kind of showed it off. As you guys can see there, we got 2 head swaps, a couple of his Terrific Orb effects. We got 2 of them there, and then 1 hand swap. It looks like he's holding one of the orbs in his hand. As you guys can see too, this jacket, kind of like a faux leather jacket. So like a soft goods kind of look. Always love when McFarlane does that. That's the side there. That's the side, the back. Really cool art. Mr. Terrific, JSA member, of course. Yeah, so this is gonna be based on maybe his newer design. You guys can see there, it's like the Fair Play tattoos on the side. It's not, you know, it's missing from the side of the jacket, but I think they nailed it, man. That doesn't bother me too much. I think this is a great Mr. Terrific figure either way. Excited to see him in the Superman movie, dude. So that's the figure, the second figure for the month. Last but not least, dude, very excited about this, man. We've got the Batman with the, not a gargoyle, but you know, like the thing he can stand on. This one's cool because it's got like a giant plastic cape, but then you can swap in a cloth goods wired cape. And you guys can see there, we got some hand swaps, a batarang, something I think that goes around like Batman's neck, maybe, possibly. And then we have, what is it, the ventriloquist head from this arc as well. You guys can see on the side there, this is from Detective Comics number 587, Night People arc. So yeah, very, very cool, man. Anything else of note? Nah, dude, just a very cool Batman figure there. So yeah, that's what we got for the month of January, guys. So you know, give me a second to get these guys open and we'll get to reviewing, showing you guys the figures up close. First thing up, man, let's get the Mafex out of the box. So Mafex is an interesting toy line to me, right? So it's not like I'm gonna go for every single Mafex they've ever released. I do think that, you know, the quality of their figs is obviously very high. In my opinion, very much worth the money, especially if you're really into that character, right? But Mafex as a line is not something I'm gonna try to like 100% complete or anything. It mainly is this, I have the Superman Hush, I have a Batman Hush on pre-order, once it gets like reissued. I have the Spider-Man one, and I think like Daredevil, and I'd be it for Mafex. You know, mostly about the McFarlane, as you guys know. We got him out the box. This is the packaging he comes with, the classic Mafex packaging. Got the figure, first hands on. Wow, dude. Oh yeah, dude. Okay, so yeah, I mean, Mafex, you guys know, very well known for their articulation, right? So you got double jointed, everything you could want double jointed. You got the bicep swivels, the head's going wicked up, the head's going wicked down, the ab crunch is unreal. I mean, for a Spider-Man fig, that's a great, in my opinion, a really great ab crunch. I mean, he's doing the 360 all the way. He's got kind of the butterfly joints you guys see there. I think they'd consider that a butterfly joint, right? So yeah, dude, I'm excited about this Mafex, dude. It's been sitting over there waiting to get unboxed for a while. So that's the actual figure itself. If we're getting into the accessories it comes with, it's got this alternate head swap. I don't know, which one is, oh, I kind of like the one it comes with, dude. Just a little bit wider on the eyes. I think I'm gonna keep with the default head swap that's on it. As you guys can see, in terms of the hands, I mean, we'll get to the web effects in a second, but the hands, you got some open hands, you got some kind of like resting hands, you got your thwippy hands, punching hands, you know, crawly hands on the wall, and then you have alternate set of feet. That's interesting. This might be my first ever alternate set of feet that I've gotten in a figure ever. Oh, is that the magnets, dude? Are these the magnetic feet? Hold on, let me check. Let me check here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Interesting. Okay, so I was a little bit worried, not gonna lie, when I saw the bottom and I was like, oh wait, this is not the magnetic feet, but I didn't know that it came with a set of magnetic feet on the side. So yeah, dude, awesome. In terms of web effects, so you guys see in here, it's got a couple long ones, couple of one with kind of a splayed edge to it, a couple shorter ones, some medium length ones. What's this down here? Little plastic bit. That must go for like the go to the stand. obviously it's got your classic Mafex stand. So yeah, guys, that's everything that's included in the Mafex Spider-Man. Listen, if you're a Spider-Man fan, I mean, this is like a must-have figure. Very excited about this. This is, you know, like I was saying, I mean, the entire Mafex line, like, I don't think I need a black suit Spider-Man from Mafex. But dude, this is gonna be fun to mess with and pose. So yeah, dude, Mafex Spider-Man, first figure of the month. Very excited about that. Let's move these slightly out of the way here. Next up, let's get the Batman out of the packaging, all right? Because I want to mess with this wired cape. I want to see what that's all about. Alrighty, guys, fresh out the box, we've got the Batman from Batman Nightfall. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Right? I haven't read this this older Batman material. Norm Brayfogle, is that the artist where this Batman design comes from? But yeah, really cool stuff. You guys see kind of like the sculpted cape, kind of wild, flowing in the wind. We're getting a good look at that Batman face sculpt. Nothing crazy. I mean, I like the kind of the pointy ears. I think they're a good height. He has the spikes on his shoulders. Very cool look. I like that dark gray, man. That like dark, I don't know, really, really dark gray with the Batman symbol painted on. It's not raised or anything. The Batman symbol just painted there. The yellow, man, I think the yellow really pops with the dark gray, and then the really dark blue as well. So let's get this guy underneath the top down. I kind of want to do a comparison too. So I have the this Batman figure they released. So if you guys can see, a lot of different reused parts. I want to say the entire thing is almost a reuse. Is the head sculpt? The head sculpts are slightly different. As you guys can see, the eyes are different sizes. So the head sculpts are different. Definitely the bat ears are different too. But the rest of the figure, I think the entire thing might be maybe different gauntlets. Kind of hard to tell that. But yeah, I think that definitely the legs. Yeah, a lot of reuse going on here, which I don't mind, man. I never mind when McFarlane does some reuse if it's a good reuse, good use of the parts from previously released figures. But yeah, I think this is great. You guys want to see the swap? I mean, the cape part just swaps in and off. It's kind of like this this little key you guys see there, so it kind of just fits kind of snugly in there. Of course, with this giant cape, I mean, it kind of constricts the movement of the Batman on his shoulder, right? Because you can't lift up into like a T pose or anything, or else you'll cause the cape to fall off. But yeah, so for the purpose of this video, let's take the giant sculpted cape off. I mean, I think it looks really cool. It's got like that textured kind of leather on the back. Not so much on the front, but let's pop the head off as well. And let's see what's going on with this wired cape. So just the fact that you can swap between them, I thought was cool. So that's why this Batman figure was on my wish list there. Oh yeah, dude. So you get this giant. Okay, well that's a little weird. Maybe this is I don't know what this little bit is. I mean, that's not even. Maybe it's so we could kind of pull it. I don't know. But it's a wide, I mean, very wide. There's no wire going across the bottom, just across the top here. But let's key this cape in. Okay, so this one's gonna have the same kind of issues where you can't really lift up his arms as much, or else the cape will pop off. So got that. Let's get the Batman head swap on. Hopefully it just pops in. Okay. And yeah, dude, you got this giant, long, flowy cape that you can do whatever you want with it, man. Pretty cool stuff. I will say, I mean, it's just real touchy because you cannot lift the arms like practically at all, or else the cape part pops out. So that's a little bit unfortunate. I kind of wish the cape part would maybe key in, but kind of lock in as well, you know? But yeah, dude, I think overall this is a really cool figure. So in terms of accessories, this guy comes with, not a gargoyle, but like an eagle, like a bird that hangs off the side of a building that Batman can stand on, be perched on. He comes with a batarang. We got grabby hands. We have the ventriloquist dummy head. We got this. Okay, so this is a gas mask. I couldn't really see it from the way it was inside the packaging, but it looks to be like a gas mask that'll fit over Batman's head. And then we have 2 punchy hands as well. I don't want to forget the punchy hands. So yeah, dude, overall, I'm not gonna do the full-on articulation. I mean, it's your classic McFarlane, double jointed elbows, toe articulation, ratcheted ankle joint. The head, you know, the head's going all over the place. Next one up, let's get Mr. Terrific out of his box. All right, fresh out the box, we've got the Mr. Terrific figure. As you guys are seeing, man, he's got that jacket. Not the fair play running down the side, but I still think they killed it. Really cool look on the back there. I just like this, like, you know, white and black color scheme he's got going on here. Really cool stuff. That face sculpt is looking good as well. First thing you guys gotta know, right? It comes with 2 different face swaps. One of them, he's kind of like more of a calm, maybe like a I don't know, like a determined kind of look, right? The other one, we got more of a scream. And then, so this is my maybe second McFarlane with the face swap. Let's see how easy it is. Lifts up. Let's put the screaming face on him. Boom, dude. And I think it looks great. So I think these face swaps, man, I'm glad to see him on more McFarlane. That looks really cool. Let's take the jacket off for the purpose of this review, right? So the jacket should just slip over. Okay, cool. We got the fair on one side. You got the play on the other. Okay. All right, yeah. So, you know, as you guys can see, it's probably a body buck that's been used quite a few times, I would imagine. But you got the double jointed knees. You got the ratcheted ankle joints. You got the toe articulation. He's doing the splits like crazy. Yeah, dude. Kind of like the twisty. You got a little bit of twist down there. So yeah, dude, I would say this is some great articulation for a McFarlane. His head tilts about that much. So that not good on the head tilt or the ab crunch. That's pretty pathetic, actually. Tilts back though. Tilts back like crazy. Other accessories this guy comes with. He's got, like, you know, a bunch of his, how does this, maybe like around his ankle, so kind of like punching out. Okay, yeah. Nah, that looks cool, dude. Then he's got this other one. Maybe this one kind of clips on more like a shield type of motion. Yeah, so that one kind of clicks on like that. This is a sick figure, man. So then let's take a closer look at the jacket. So it's kind of like, I mean, it's obviously not leather. It's really kind of soft, soft to the touch, kind of slick and slippery. No wires anywhere to be seen, or I can't feel any wires. So yeah, it really just is like a very basic red, black, and white type of jacket. But dude, the actual figure itself, I mean, this is killer, dude. Super sick. Another member of the Justice League added, man. This is gonna, or the Justice Society. This is gonna be on the Justice League / Justice Society shelf, going against the DC villain. So yeah, dude, that's sick, man. That's very cool. Let's do the other face swap just for fun, dude. That's the other one. So you guys can see there. I mean, that's how they get around. That's how they get the tongue in there, the mouth. If it'll focus, yeah. So that's a little creepy, dude, with no face, but it gets covered up by all the other faces. So yeah, dude, This is sick, dude. Very excited. Oh, of course, the card. Don't want to show you guys the card, of course. You guys can pause there if you want to learn a little bit more about Mr. Terrific Michael Holt. Very exciting, dude. Good add to the collection, man. So listen, guys, that's those are the 3 action figures we got in the month of January. We've got the crazy detailed Batman with the crazy cape. I mean, that's kind of why I got it. Just like this wicked crazy cape, and the gargoyle thing is cool too. We got the Mr. Terrific McFarlane. So those are the McFarlanes, and then the Mafex Spider-Man, dude. Mafex Spider-Man. That's what we got in terms of action figures for the month of January. Let me know what you guys are picking up in the month of January as well. Thank you guys for watching, and read more comics. As we're heading into 2025, I wanted to talk about some of my reading goals for the year. I saw some other people do videos like this, and I thought, might as well join them, dude. So the first thing we're gonna do is talk about maybe some of my reading goals that I had last year in 2024. Talk about, if I met them, or maybe if I, fell short of any of the goals. And then we'll get into my goals for this year. So yeah, let's start off with my goals for last year, right? I had 5 of them. Won't take too long going through them, but the first one up, read more manga. So last year, I really wanted to make it a focus to read more manga. Kind of fell short of this goal, dude, not gonna lie. So the 2 things that I read that were manga for 2024, I read Akira, volume number 1. Loved it, man. Had a lot of fun with that. Really cool sci-fi world there. But we didn't read anything else besides Akira, volume number 1, and Remina, Junji Ito book. Kind of like a one-off, so I didn't need to read anything else. It's kind of just a short Junji Ito story. Those are the 2 only, manga things that I read last year. Definitely kind of fell short of that goal. Number 2, last year I wanted to read more Ed Brubaker, and that one, I met that goal, I would say, right? So last year I read Fatale, loved that one. I read Night Fever, Gotham Central, which is my favorite DC run of all time. I loved Gotham Central, great stuff there. I read Criminal volume number 1, Deluxe volume number 1. I read Reckless, book number 1, and I read Pulp, the Process edition. So I got a great look at a lot of Ed Brubaker's work. I feel in 2024, a lot of his stuff with Sean Phillips, obviously, but then that Gotham Central stuff, really, really excellent stuff there. The third goal that I had in the year of 2024 was to read more Fantastic Four. So I kind of considered this my, team-based goal. Like I wanted to read a lot more of a team, and I chose the team of the Fantastic Four, and sort of met this one, right? So I read Fantastic Four by Hickman, volumes number 1 and 2 last year, and I also read Mark Waid's Fantastic Four one. So Fantastic Four by Waid and Waringo. Liked both of them a lot. Really great introduction into the Fantastic Four. I have to say though, I kind of liked Hickman's volume number 2 the best out of anything that I read. Just really epic sci-fi story. That's kind of where I like my Fantastic Four going, I kind of feel. And the Waid stuff, it wasn't bad by any means. It was a great first Omni for Fantastic Four. I definitely recommend it. But I kind of like the over-the-top, crazy, sci-fi take that Hickman was doing. He's building up to this entire thing over 2, volume number 1 Omni, volume number 2 Omni. So I loved it. Definitely recommend Hickman's Fantastic Four, but also Waid's was really great too. Number 4, my goal for last year was to read more Daredevil. Kind of fell short of this, and I'll explain it a little bit. So I wanted to read the Frank Miller Daredevil Omnibus, and I'll be honest with you guys, man, I got kind of stopped like twice. I got kind of burnt out trying to read it at 2 points during the year. Like I gave it another shot, and I still kind of got burnt out. So I was worried that I wouldn't read very much Daredevil at all last year, but I decided to, not give up on the Frank Miller stuff. I'll get back to it at some point, but I read the Daredevil volume number 1 Omnibus, and dude, that stuff is excellent, excellent stuff. I didn't get burnt out reading that, you know what I'm saying? So I think maybe if that tells you guys where kind of my preferences for Daredevil kind of lie. I really like the Bendis, very dark, very kind of dark look at Daredevil. So I'm very much looking forward to getting into the Bendis Daredevil volume number 2. And this Daredevil Omnibus had just such great artwork from Alex Maleev. Excellent stuff. So to be honest with you guys, I know a lot of people recommend starting with the Frank Miller stuff. I might start with recommend starting with the Bendis stuff, man. I had a lot of fun with that. Number 5, my goal for 2024 was to read a lot more Superman / Superman Family. So we read, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. We read great stuff like Superman for All Seasons. I think we read Superman Birthright last year as well. Maybe even Superman Smashes the Klan. Really great Superman stories. Didn't read as much Superman as I wanted to. So that kind of gets into my 2025 reading goals. So let's get into it, man. My number one thing was to read a lot more Superman this year. Trying to get ready for the Superman DCU movie, James Gunn's, in, was it May? I forget. But the Superman movie, man. So I have a lot of Superman that I want to get to. In the second half of the year, I'm going to read a ton of Gleason and Tomasi stuff. So if you guys can see back there, maybe it's kind of hard to see, but there's the Superman by Patrick Gleason and Peter J. Tomasi. Love that one. But I haven't read the Batman omnibus that they also released. So I have that up there. I also have the Green Lantern by the same duo, volume number 1. So at some point, I would like to get to those in 2025. And then, not Gleason related, but Tomasi related, I want to get into the Super Sons omnibus. That's Jorge Jimenez, it looks like, right? So yeah, at some point, man, we're just going to be reading a ton of, that kind of flavor of Robin and that flavor of Superboy or whatever, right? So looking forward to that. Superman and Gleason Tomasi stuff is going to be kind of my DC goal for 2025. If we're talking a Marvel goal for this year, I have the Daredevil journey continues, right? So like I was saying, man, really love the Bendis stuff. We're going to keep it going with the Bendis stuff. We also have the Brubaker stuff at some point this year. I would like to get the Mark Waid stuff at some point this year, and then close it out with Charles Soule if we can. But obviously that's a lot of different omnis. We'll see if we can get to them all this year, but that's definitely the plan. And then we want to read a lot more Hickman stuff, specifically, his DC, Marvel stuff. We have the Avengers by Jonathan Hickman. That's going to be a really fun read because I haven't read too much Avengers, like just straight up Avengers stuff. So at some point, man, we're going to get to the Avengers by Hickman this year. That should be pretty fun. Number 3 goal. I kind of broke this one down. This is going to be kind of writers that I want to get more into. We're continuing the Brubaker stuff, man. So as you guys can see, man, I have an entire cube. It's over here. Entire cube of Brubaker stuff. We got to read, finish out Criminal, read some more of the Reckless series. I want to read Kill or Be Killed at some point too. I want to read The Fade Out too. So man, just a lot of great Ed Brubaker stuff that I have kind of on my plate for 2025 we'll be getting into. I also have a ton of Lemire stuff that I want to read. Jeff Lemire is one of my favorite writers of all time, but I haven't read some of his like main things that people say you need to read. So for example, we have Royal City. I want to read that at some point, and Essex County. Those are the two kind of big Jeff Lemire series that I want to read. Also, if I can read Descender and Ascender this year, we'll squeeze them in. That could be cool as well with Dustin Wynn. But yeah, man, so just more Ed Brubaker on the plate and more Jeff Lemire on the plate as well. So look forward to that. And then finally, dude, my last goal for the year. So I figured this year, it kind of is a carryover with the manga goal that I had in 2024. But this year, man, I would like to just read more variety. So I'm trying to get back into books. So I don't know if I told the channel this, but I finished this recently, Project Hail Mary. So just trying to cycle in, right? So we got all the different comic book stuff we got, the single issues, obviously. You guys know I don't miss my new comic book days. We have the collected edition stuff that you guys know I'm reading all the time. So we're going to try to filter in manga and also some novels as well. So like next up for a novel, I've got Brave New World. So this has been on my TBR for, I don't know, a decade now. So yeah, about time to read Brave New World. And then yeah, I think that this year also kind of with the variety theme, I want to try to read some older stuff as well. So what do I say when I say older stuff, what I mean? Like some of your more classic Marvel stuff. We also have the DC Finest line. They sent me the entire wave number 1. So, we can get into some of the first ever Superman comics. We can read, we have the Justice League of America stuff, the Flash stuff, which is like, one of the first Barry Allen materials. So we're just going to be reading a lot of older stuff this year, man, with the Penguin Classics Marvel. We have, the Fantastic Four one. We can read some of the X-Men stuff, some of the Avengers stuff as well. So yeah, man, we're just going to be reading some of the older stuff, cycling some novels, and then some manga as well. In terms of manga, I picked up recently, we got Uzumaki. I think I'm saying that right. We got that pretty recently as well. We have, Vagabond. I want to read Vagabond at some point too. That looks really sick. So we're going to be reading in some, cycling some more variety into the channel. Books, manga, older stuff, along with the collected edition stuff that you guys know I'm reading all the time, and the single issue stuff as well. So yeah, man, that's my goals, my reading goals for 2025. Just more variety. We have Ed Brubaker, Jeff Lemire, two creators I want to read more of. The Daredevil journey is going to continue, mixing in some of Hickman stuff as well as some Marvel Hickman stuff. And then finishing it off, we're going to be reading a lot of Superman stuff, especially in the first half of the year. And then finishing off with some Gleason and Tomasi stuff in the back half of the year. That's my goals for 2025. My reading goals, man. Let me know what yours are in the comments. Thank you guys for watching, and read more comics. Collected editions that are coming out in the month of January. So when I say collected editions, I'm talking graphic novels, maybe they're omnibuses, deluxe editions, and even trade paperback comic books that are coming out in the month of January. I want to talk about some. These aren't necessarily all things that I'm going to buy in the month of January or anytime soon for that matter. These are just things that are going to be on my wish list, right? So if I ever see them at a shop for a good price, see them on clearance, see them online for a good price as well, then I might be buying them, right? But these are things that are all on my wish list. Let's get into it, starting off with the Chip Zdarsky Daredevil Omnibus Volume number 2. You guys know it. I'm trying to go for a complete Daredevil run. That's a character that I would like to get in all Omni format. So you got to buy this at some point, right? Chip Zdarsky's legendary run. This closes out the entire, the back half of his run. We have the Devil's Reign stuff in here too, so you don't need to maybe necessarily go for the Devil's Reign Omnibus. You get the entire miniseries, issues number 1 through 6 here with the Omega. So yeah, it's also got the Daredevil Woman Without Fear 1 through 3, which I thought those were pretty good. So yeah, man, at some point, be looking to get this Chip Zdarsky Daredevil Omnibus Volume number 2 to pair with the Volume number 1 at some point. Also, another omnibus that was released in the month of January, we got the DC versus Marvel, the Amalgam Age Omnibus. So for those that don't know, this is the sister omnibus that they released, sort of. So this is focused on the Amalgam stuff. As you guys can see there, right, we got like Dark Claw or what is it? I forgot the Captain America Superman hybrid. But this is kind of paired with the DC versus Marvel Omnibus that has all the different crossovers. This one is just focused on the Amalgam releases that they had, right? So just picking some down here, we have Bat Thing, we've got Bruce Wayne, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., we have Challengers of the Fantastic, Dark Claw Adventures, Doctor Strange Fate. So yeah, just a lot of, I see Lobo the Duck, for example. So just all the different amalgam releases that they had all in one omnibus. That's something that I gotta pick up at some point. In fact, I might have already pre-ordered this one because, man, you never know when they're gonna re-release this stuff. This is something that a collaboration between DC and Marvel, you gotta get it at some point. As a student of the game, as a fan of comic book history, it's pretty cool to see them re-releasing that in an omnibus format. Let's talk about some trades that are coming out this month. So the first trade that I want to talk about is Falling in Love on the Path to Hell. This came out already on January 8th. I was very interested in checking out this series when it was coming out in singles, but I was like, hey, maybe I'll just wait for it to come out in a trade, and here we go. A trade came out. So this is on the sunset on Samurai and Gunslingers at roughly the same time, but our two leads didn't die off quietly. So the future lovers are mortally wounded, a world apart, and awake together in a purgatory ruled by a ruthless society of damned warriors. So this is kind of like a love story, but it takes place, it's kind of like they're passed away. They're in kind of like a ghostly realm or something like that, right? So this sounds interesting to me, man. And I'm very much, fan of the creators here. So we got Jerry Duggan, Gary Brown, Chris O'Halloran. All three of them do nothing but good stuff. So Falling in Love on the Path to Hell, trade paperback would be cool at some point. Let's talk about some of the DC's finest. So DC Finest is a new line that DC Comics has been doing. They released, by now they probably have, upwards of 10, but they're kind of focused on a character, kind of taking a historical aspect. So just like a moment in that character's history and just doing like, a lot of important issues from that era. So this one we have the King of Atlantis, Aquaman. Have not read a lot of Aquaman material, so I think it would be cool to take a look at it. I wish I had the years on the solicits, the years that these ones came out, but that's all right, man. So yeah, Aquaman, King of Atlantis. Another DC Finest that we're looking to get on the wish list is this Supergirl, the Girl of Steel omnibus. So this is from 1959 to 1962, some classic Supergirl material. This has Action Comics number 252 to 288, some Adventure Comics material, Superman material, some Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane, Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen. So yeah, man, just a lot of the series that were going on at DC during the time. So a lot of the Supergirl material, and then the last DC Finest that are coming out in January that I'm looking to get on the wish list, the Green Arrow, the Longbow Hunters stuff. So this is Mike Grell and Denny O'Neill's, their classic stuff, right? So at some point, we're looking to get this. I've heard it's a really epic run, one of the best Green Arrow runs of all time. So we're going to be getting this on the wish list at some point. Another trade I just wanted to shout out is Blow Away from Boom Studios. Big fan of Zach Thompson, the writer of this series. It's kind of like, I don't even know how to, it's like a thriller. It takes place like up in the Arctic. This girl, she kind of notices a murder, right? Something that wasn't an accident, it wasn't a murder. She kind of is a witness to it, and she kind of goes down kind of the path to try to solve this kind of this violent argument that it says, and it's like, should she be going down this path? Maybe some people are after her, trying to make it so she doesn't figure out the truth. So I thought Blow Away was pretty sick. Really short little mini there from Boom Studios and Zach Thompson. Daredevil by Brian Michael Bendis, volume number 2. I mean, I was telling you guys about the Zdarsky omnibus. Same thing for this one, man. I got to get this to pair with the Bendis Daredevil omnibus, volume number 1. We're going to be reading this as soon as I get it in. That one is a high priority for me. On January 21st, so this new comic book day, at the time of recording, we have a new release from Mike Mignola, right? So we have Bowling for Corpses and Other Strange Tales from the Lands Unknown. This is like a new world that Mike Mignola has created with Dave Stewart. It's going to be separate from Hellboy, right? So you don't need to read any Hellboy to get into this. This is going to be a new series, a new world. Let's just read the solicit real quick. From a search for the beating heart of a long-dead sorcerer to a pirate girl who makes a deal with the devil, to the titular boy who wins a grim prize in a game with some undead interlopers and more. Mignola builds a brand new world filled with the weird, wicked, and whimsical in this volume that will delight longtime Hellboy fans and readers alike, new readers alike. So yeah, man, this is going to be perfect for someone who wants to read some Mike Mignola stuff but hasn't read any Hellboy. One of the most legendary creators of all time, but if you're looking at all the Hellboy stuff, maybe it can kind of seem hard to jump into because there's so much of that going on. So I think this is going to be great, man. It seems like this is going to be kind of like an anthology sort of story, an anthology sort of hardcover from this new world that Mike Mignola has created. So we'll be interested to see if we get more of this. Hopefully this does really well. It's Mike Mignola, so I imagine it will, from Dark Horse Comics. But yeah, this is going to be on the wish list for sure. Checking out the new Mike Mignola series. So a couple more trade paperbacks. Actually, the rest of them are trades. I wanted to shout out The Criminal volume number 1 trade paperback is getting a re-release, so stay tuned for that. Keep your eyes out if you're looking for that. January 22nd, and then also volume number 2 comes out on the same day. So if you guys are looking to read the Criminal series before the show comes out, actually there's a show coming out. You guys can pick up volume number 1 and 2 and the new released trade paperbacks from Image Comics. Zach Thompson also has another trade coming out. This one's from January 28th. Zach Thompson, like I was saying, but this one's got art from Hayden Sherman. So if you're enjoying Hayden Sherman's work in the Absolute Wonder Woman series, check out Hayden Sherman's work here. This one is interesting, dude. It's about this group of scientists that kind of wander into this giant dead being from like an alien kind of sort of creature, right? So it's kind of like the reverse of your classic sci-fi story where you get shrunken down and you go into the body of a human. These are regular sized humans going into the body of some like otherworldly celestial beast, and they it's pretty horrific what they find inside this thing. So if you're interested in if that sounds interesting to you, definitely check out this trade. I think it's pretty cool. If you're a fan of like Alien, right? So if you're a fan of Alien or some like cosmic horror, some body horror stuff as well, definitely check out Into the Unbeing. Some great stuff from Zach Thompson and Hayden Sherman. Definitely recommend it. That one comes out on January 28th, like I said. Also on January 28th, we got 2 more trades. The Flash Gordon Escape from Planet Death trade paperback. So this is written by Jeremy Adams, who I think is doing great stuff over at DC. Jeremy Adams was also the writer on this Flash Gordon title out of Mad Cave Studios. And Mad Cave Studios has been killing it, man. They had a really great 2024. So I'm looking to collect this trade paperback as soon as I find it. It's a series that they sent me issues number 1 to check out, and I really enjoyed it. But I was like, hey, I'm gonna wait for this to come out in a trade. Want to support Jeremy Adams as well. So yeah, we'll be getting this Flash Gordon trade as soon as I see it in the shops. We also have the last thing for the month of January. You guys got to pick up the Power Fantasy trade paperback. One of the best series on stands right now. It's written by Kieran Gillen with art from Casper Wingard, letter from Clayton Cowles as well. I want to give shout outs to Clayton. But yeah, excellent series, man. This is like, a lot of people are calling it like the modern day Watchmen. I don't think that's very far off in terms of how it's, dissecting the superhero, kind of fandom and the role that superheroes can play and all that stuff. Not like it's, literally Watchmen beat for beat. It's kind of taking that spirit of what Watchmen was trying to convey, like the message behind it in this, 2025 era that we're living in. And I really like it, dude. Casper Wingard is just killing it. It's all about this group of people who have, each single one has the power to end the world. And they kind of have to play nice, right? They don't want the world to end. So it's kind of like this tension that goes on between all these different characters. And the interesting part about it is because they're so powerful and like the intensity is turned up to 11, it's almost like the human problems that they have are just as important to the, potentially world-ending problems that they could have too. So it's really interesting kind of, character study, this kind of look at these really powerful characters that, and yeah, just kind of, the low simmer that the series has before it all comes to a boil. It's been really interesting, man. The Power Fantasy out of Image Comics. Definitely check out the trade. Contains issues number 1 through 5, and then you guys can continue reading the series in single issues. It's been really good. So yeah, that's what we got for the month of January, man. Some omnibuses, some Daredevil stuff for sure. Got some DC Finest, and then some trades that I want to make sure you guys are aware of. Definitely, special shout outs to the Power Fantasy, Into the Unbeing, and Blow Away. I definitely recommend all those. But yeah, that's what we got for the month of January in terms of collected editions, graphic novels, and comic books that are coming out. Let me know what you guys are excited for in the month of January. Thank you guys for watching, and read more comics.